Are we about to do a YouTube video? You bet! We're about to do a YouTube video. It's gonna be freaking awesome. You make my hands smell gross, dude. It's alright, dude. It's alright. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set that right there, okay? And my watch right here, I'm going to set 10 minutes. And I'm going to have a stream of consciousness for 10 minutes about something called the UMWALT. Alright, and start. Okay, cool. So, I just introduced this word to you. It's called the UMWALT. If you don't already know what it is, if I haven't actually introduced you to it, and you've read some E.O. Wilson, The Origins of Creativity, you probably are already familiar with the term, which is the German translation, I believe, for world. It's UMWALT, because you for some reason you take a W and you make it sound like a V. But anywho, what the UMWALT is in his conceptualization is everything that is your senses, everything that you can sense. A dog has a different UMWALT than a human, right? They see different frequencies of light. And a bird and a fish, they all have their own worlds. And the reason he was talking about it is because he's a meteorologist, which he studies ants and ant colonies. I believe he also studies wasps, which to the entomologists that are watching this, they'll for sure vouch that they're within the same family. And the reason I thought it would be a potent conversation to talk about the UMWALT is I think it brings up a lot of philosophical points that are in our society at the current moment very important. So this UMWALT, let's expand upon the concept real quick and tell you what I really mean, because I don't just mean the things you can smell, the things you can taste, which those are olfactory sense, one sense, the things you can feel and touch, the things you can see, and the things you can hear. I mean the things that you can actually conceptualize in your brain. Like we're a lot different than a lot of animals, because, well, as far as we can tell, because we can conceptualize ideas that are abstract. We have this entire domain of existence that isn't a tangible one. We have these pleasures and we have these pulls, and we have these pains and we have these pushes. And we also have this other sense data that's around us all the time. Like right now, I'm wearing a t-shirt, a beautiful shirt. It's actually not a t-shirt, it's just the Hawaiian. There you go, it's got Santa Claus on it. And let's see, is this still recording? Heck yeah it is. Heck yeah it is, dude. Alright, why do I even doubt? Returning from my digression. The sense data is all around us constantly. Right now, I'm looking at the camera of my phone, but let me just show you, okay? There's this entire beautiful world around me, and because of my focusing, it becomes immaterial. And every day it seems that the things that were once novel to me, you know, being a baby, everyone was a baby at one point, I hate to burst your bubble, the entire world had this rich novelty to it, where it's, I want to put everything in my mouth, I want to feel everything, I just want to experience life. And then it starts to become attenuated as you box things up into these schemas. And a schema is a psychological term to describe a set of things that are boxed into, like a psychological set of things. So like a chair, when I say chair, you already have a vision of what a chair is in your head, but then I say, now make it red, make it blue, make it 10 feet tall. You can expand it, it's still a chair, right? So we have the schema, and we have the sense data, and as we start sorting through the sense data, we start storing it in these schemas, and there's something else. It's not just a randomized collection of sense data that we're sorting out. It's more, there's a drive, there's a curiosity that exists within us to see what would happen if this thing we know about interacted with this other thing that we know about, because there's this question of what interrelates them, and we're constantly in the domain of relation of things that were previously known, and we're always, not always, the majority of the time, if you're a very curious person, you'll be almost pleasantly surprised, elated, in fact, if you come across something that was unexpected. And there's other domains of that. I mean, nobody wants to come across the unexpected that is detrimental to the people that they care about. And there's this entire emotional thing that we have to talk about too. But for the moment, let's continue to talk about at least the basic motifs of thought within the UMWALT. So I've already talked about the sense data. I've already talked about the method for which we store that sense data. The recall, I've kind of generally touched base on. When I said the word chair, you were able to conceptualize the chair. Now, there's this drive that's within us to conceptualize, but there's also a drive to orient and find a location of where we are. And when I say location, I use the term loosely. I literally mean like a location of where I am isn't on a dock on a bayou in Florida, on a planet in the solar system. I mean where I am in relation to other things of meaning, and I don't mean things in themselves. Like, it doesn't matter where I am in location to the phone. Well, it does for you guys, because now you're able to see me in this tirade of information that I'm throwing at you, which it looks like we only have 3 minutes left, so I'm going to start to circle back and wrap it up. Where we are currently psychologically with our drives of push and pull, of pain and pleasure, and how to move to the next location. Now, what is that next location? That seems to be the main issue, is like, well, I don't know what my purpose in life is. Well, duh, of course you don't know what the purpose in life is, because you weren't born with a map of how to go from one place to another. You're out here sourcing the data in order to get a terrain map. You are your own cartographer in your life, right? So you're there. Now, where do you go? Do you go up on the mountain of this map, or do you go in the valley? Do you go in the forests? There's something deep within you that finds you admiring people that do a certain task, or finds you in admiration of a certain subject, right? For me personally, let's talk about that. I like scaling, and I know that sounds really weird, like you like scaling, like making things smaller or bigger, and that's just my way of conceptualizing the fact that I like talking about atoms and quarks and gluons and electrons, and I also like talking about the universe, the largest thing that we know about or can even conceptualize, and I like everything in between. So I like taking ideas and I like scaling them from a very small scale to a very large and back again. Now, I came to that conclusion not because I just straight out was like, oh, I like scaling. I came to that conclusion because I was able to say, how are the things that I interact with, the things that I'm driven to interact with, related? And what you'll see is the things that you seek out are the things that reveal the most about your drives. And I urge you to not see your UMWALT as more, or as a passive environment that's around you, but a very active one. And the things that reveal themselves to you, do so for the transcendental purpose of revealing your purpose. And I mean that technically. I don't mean that in this maybe I mean it spiritually too. I have to say I'm really starting to come to terms, and maybe that's it. That's for next time. We'll talk about that next time. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. I promise it'd be 10 minutes. I appreciate it. Go ahead and smash that like button with your tap on your iPhone or your click on your computer. Go ahead and subscribe, please. If you can comment, that'd be awesome. Tell me something I don't know, but not the ironic version. Like, seriously, tell me something I don't know. If you have any recommendations for something I should check out, hit me up. Thank you.